Hello, this is Teresa Phelps Martin, bringing you ways to live more mindfully so you can be real, you can be true, and you can be you, the true you. And I'm going to bring to you a movement-based practice that's really about renewal and resetting and returning. And it's going to require us to go a little bit deep into the layers of our being, because it's a water-inspired practice, and water relates to our emotions. It relates to the way we connect. It relates to the way we experience our lives. And not everybody loves emotions, but they are also the way we allow for growth in our life. And they bring the contrast of what's good and bad, or I really don't like that comparison, but of what's happy or sad, because we can't really embrace love or joy or happiness when we don't have the contrast of sorrow or concern or anger. So we're going to start seated so that you can feel the space between your rib cage and your hip points. The psoas are a muscle group that I connect into the emotional quality or energetic quality of water. It's also the part that helps regulate and communicates directly to the amygdala that sits at the back of our brain, and how our bodies react when we're under threat or really receive the ability to restore. This is more of a restorative practice. I do have blocks and bolsters and a blanket here. You don't necessarily need any of those things unless you know you want to nurture and comfort yourself more fully because you're going through a lot. This is an accessible practice for most everybody. So sit well. We'll call on the highest. We'll call on that energy that is divine, and it is a ray of love and protection as we close our eyes, connect to our breath, inhaling all the way in and exhaling all the way out. And as you move inward, notice there's a darkness, and inviting in the light to join you, to guide you and support you. And if you have your own intention, offering that intention and feeling just the connection of your heart to the earth and the support of the earth beneath you and the journey of your heart's expansion and growth. Allow the breath to be fluid as you inhale and exhale. And honor whatever it is you're feeling, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, soulfully, whatever it is, respect it. Take note. Give yourself permission to just be like, oh wow, man, I got this tension in my neck, or my mind is racing 1,000,000 miles a minute. I'd really like it if she'd stop talking. All those thoughts are valid. And then what is the seed you want to plant? What is it you want to connect with in this moment of renewal? This moment of transition to what the journey's been, to what the journey can become. You can also be here to practice for others and one another. But I encourage you to feel the depth of your own being so you can choose with clear and healthy boundaries. Allow your palms to turn up, your hands apart, and then you're going to open your eyes looking into the palms of your own two hands. We're going to move off a blanket. If you're on it, move your feet over to the left. And just inhale, turn the thigh in, and exhale, let it release. So we won't be weight bearing. We won't be standing in this practice. This is a grounding practice to get to earth. But what we're doing right now is we're rotating the thigh bone inward and then externally rotating it. And what I want you to do is feel this movement so that as you inhale, you're filling up the back body. You're getting into this internal rotation, and then exhale, releasing. 2 more times. And then as you inhale, turn the thigh in, bend the knee, hold onto the foot, stretch the knee back. Now your foot may need to be on the ground. Stretch the knee back. This is my sweet companion, Lulu. And you can stay upright, right? With no strain, no discomfort in the knee. You should feel the stretch through the front of your thigh. Or come all the way down to your elbow, shoulders to your back, and let the head move. The belly likes to go on vacation, so pull into that core. Feel your inner resources being supported, held, so they can really change and transform. And as you exhale, exhale out completely. Stretch that left leg long, so the leg's gonna stretch all the way out. Stretch the left arm by your ear, and now we're gonna twist. So we're gonna twist all the way over. You may need to adjust this right leg. Twist all the way over, maybe even spin the back heel up, come down to your elbows. And this is, some of us will feel like, oh my gosh, and some of us won't feel much at all. So let go of the judgment and instead receive. And then as you exhale, bend that left knee, come up onto your hands. You're gonna spin around to the front and then move your feet over to the other side. So now our feet, we're sitting on our left hip, our feet are to the right. You're gonna inhale, turn the thigh bone in, and exhale, let it release. And so again, remember, we're rotating in, we're feeling the movement, not just in our hip, but from our hip all the way up the sideline of the body, really into the back of the heart. Using the breath to help facilitate the movement and moving from your core, moving from the deep depths of you. This is a practice that's going to help the lower back and help our genital organs, our uterus and ovaries if you have them, or even our testosterone makers, right? Turn the thigh in. I know, a little interesting. Draw into the belly. Hold on to the foot, or maybe the foot's on the ground. See if you can keep the knee on the ground though. Sorry, I didn't give you that nuance last time. Stretch the knee back. So you're gonna draw into the belly. So here I feel this on this side way more. And when I draw into the belly, I feel it even more. I also know that my shoulders need a break. So it's actually easier for me to come down. And that's what I value. You may value something different. Let the head relax. Feel connected to your breath. Just feel that tension dissolving. And then exhale out completely. Free your foot. You're gonna inhale and come all the way up. And then we're gonna stretch the foot out. Okay, so your heel, your knee, your hip, your rib cage, your shoulder are all in alignment. Stretch the arm by your ear. And then what we're gonna do is pull into the belly. Again, you may have to adjust this, but pull into the belly. You're rotating your rib cage. Elbows come to the ground. Yes, your belly's gonna get in the way. Heel spins up. Keep twisting, soften the heart. Enjoy the connection to your breath. Notice how different it feels one side versus the other. Head moves around, let the heart soften. And then exhale out completely, relax the back knee. Inhale, come all the way up. I'm gonna turn and face this way, but you're gonna come seated again. Bring the soles of the feet together, hands to your ankles. Try to resist grabbing the feet, but hold on to your ankles instead so your feet have freedom to adjust and accommodate the position rather than trying to be overly in charge. So hands to your ankles, draw the core in, so you're gonna feel your low back move back, round the back, shoulders come off the back body, and then inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. If it's too hard to hold the ankles, you can hold your knees too. Exhale, round the back. It's just a seated cat-cow. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, lengthening, and exhaling, rounding. Inhale, rising up. So now as we rise up, we're going to stretch the left leg out long, bend the right knee, hold on to the right knee, right hand goes behind you. We're not hooking over. We're holding space for our inner world. Elbows go wide, draw into the core, and just feel what's going on in the body. Yoga and embodiment-based practices such as this give us a chance to really tune in like, oh wow, I didn't know my arms were so sore. Lengthen through the roof of the mouth, stay long through the side of the bodies, resist one side collapsing, shoulders to your back, and then turn the gaze at the final moment. Inhale, come all the way back through the center. Bring your right ankle to rest on top of your thigh, hands lean back, shoulders draw back, and then bend the knee. So as you bend the knee, you bend as much as you need to. We're just going to move the legs from side to side. Just a little bit of movement, not too much. Now, here's where it's going to get fun and interesting. Make sure you have room behind you. Come back through the center. You might have to slide your hips forward. Come down to your elbows. Okay, shoulders to your back, heart lifts, clear the head and the neck. And then come all the way down, head to the earth, draw the knee into your chest. I'm not using my hands. I'm actually going to bring my hands back behind my head and just feel the opening in the hips. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then bring the left foot to the ground. You're going to draw your right knee towards your armpit and hold onto the right foot. Left knee will probably open up wide or a little bit wide, and you're going to stretch your foot out to the side until you feel it. I want you to really, this is a water-based practice to renew and reconnect. We're not in the mind, the aggressive and an ambitious, I shouldn't say aggressive, our ambitious nature of I need to go to the full pose. We're in the process of feeling the effects of lying on our back, holding onto our foot, and extending the leg. I felt it in my calf before my inner thigh, but I know all the furniture I moved yesterday. So meet yourself where you are and feel what's there and feel, you might even notice, right? I said I moved furniture, so I know that tension in my leg right now is from the past. And so I can let it release. I don't need to carry that energy around with me any longer. And then inhale, come back through the center. Both knees come back to the midline. Hold on to the leg, plug the thigh bone into the hip socket. Release the toes and the ankles, and then slide your left leg out long. Full breath in and a full breath out. Now this is a little interesting. It's not something I typically do, so you can adjust as you need. You can adjust here, hold on to your leg, draw into your core, and use that strength to bring you up. Otherwise, what I'd like to see you do is hold on to the leg, lift into your core. I don't even know if I can do it. Keep the legs straight and strong, pulling into your center, and then coming all the way up. Bend the knee. It opens out to the side. Bend the knee, it opens out to the side. Lengthen the spine, and then fold forward on that left leg. Watch the tip and the tilt. This side's gonna drop faster, so you gotta spin into the core, draw the energy back, and then bow forward. And maybe you're here, okay? Forward bends come really natural to me. Meet yourself where you are. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Exhale out completely, draw into your core, lengthen the spine, and then inhale, come up. Right leg's gonna stretch long. Bend the left knee. Right leg's on, bend the left knee, hands around the eye of the knee, lengthen the spine. Left hand comes behind you, elbows go wide, core draws in, right? Anchor the tail, but also then re-anchor the pubic bone because the heart lifts up. We're moving into that deep land. We're allowing for the transformation as we continue to feel what is there for us. Now, if you're like, I don't feel anything, then breathe into the spaciousness of your being and appreciate the ease that's accessible to you right now. because even I feel this so deeply. Inhale, come back to the center. It's also the way we choose to engage. Come back to the center, ankle to the thigh. Hands come back behind us, elbows bend, shoulders to your back. Remember, we're not slouched down. There's curves, there's opening. Bend the knee. Rock from side to side. And just feel all there is to feel. Wow, there's a little twinge in my knee currently. I know I'm dealing with some stuff in my left hip, so I'm going to relax my left foot more. You may actually need to engage your foot more. The only way you'll know is if you feel what you're feeling and get to know yourself on a feeling level. Hips walk forward, maybe elbows come to the ground. Pause, connect, open, lengthen, then walk your elbows down, head to the ground. Right knee lifts. Hands come back behind the head, or just rest your arms by your side. 3 breaths here. So while it appears that we're just doing simple stretching, I want you to go further and just be in touch with what you're processing, what's coming through. We're giving our mind a chance to get into our bodies so we can clear the tension, the subtle tension, the subtleties of stress, the way they hold on to us and bind to us. The argument we had the other day that's still with us, or the way we were misunderstood 20 years ago. You may not know which one it's coming from, but you know there's something that you want to release. So we feel it, to heal it, to move through it, so we can actually draw into more of our power and strength. Right foot comes to the ground. Left knee comes towards your armpit. Hold on to the pinky toe side of the foot if you can get it. Knee opens to the side. Right knee might open too. So make sure you're not too heavy on the low back on one side, that you're even. And then, ooh, yeah, extend the leg long. This side, I don't feel anything on this side. So that tells me I totally use my right leg more. I also have a huge bruise on my right knee. And this side is still working with an injury I created. And now it seems to be stuck in my hip. So feel what's there. I know the feelings of my body. I know when I'm out of alignment. I know when I'm in alignment. I know when I need to rest. I know when I need to get active. Doesn't mean I always act on what I know, but I know based on how I feel in my body. Inhale, come back to the center. Both legs come to the center. Hold on to the back of the leg. Plug the thigh bone down so that leg wants to come in. We're letting go of that passionate drive to bring the foot into the face and rather feeling into this land. Hold on to the back of the leg. Plug the thigh bone down and breathe. Or just letting the thigh bone sit into the hip socket. So often it's getting pushed up and out, which disconnects us to our inner realm. So connect back in. Slide your right leg out long so the foot's not all turned out and plopped over. It's internally rotated so we can draw into our centers. Again, you're going to come up seated, lift the head and chest. Oh, I can do it on this side. Woohoo, fun. Lift the head and chest, rise up. Knee comes in, move your hips back if you need to. Open the knee up, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. Exhale out completely, ground into the earth. Re-elongate the spine, because what we're really doing is we're closing out the journey. Lengthen the spine. What energy do you want to rise up with? Hopefully you're rising up with renewal. We are going to move to the wall, and I'm going to move to this wall because I think you can see me. I am going to use my blanket, my bolster here. You can also use a blanket. You can use a pillow as well, okay? This is a more restorative practice. This is a practice about renewing. And emotional energy needs us to slow down and tune in so we can respond rather than react. So you're gonna come all the way up against a wall. It's gonna be a weird angle, so just bear with me. Come all the way up against the wall, slide your hips, lean back, legs go up the wall. Yeah, I knew my feet would come off. So once we're here, you're gonna let yourself get settled. Start with bent knees so you can make sure your tailbone's heavy. There should be just like there's gonna be a little rush to the head, but you want the head to feel clear. Now, as you're here, the head's clear. You could even use a block, but I'm gonna use a bolster because I have them, and no offense, it's the way I get benefit too. Hips are gonna lift up. You're gonna push your feet into the wall. Hips lift up. You wanna slide the bolster back so that your tail hangs out, your legs stretch up. Holy cow, I needed this more than I needed. You gotta check in. Maybe you have to move closer towards the wall, closer towards the tailbone. Arms by your sides, head is free. I do have another blanket here, and they're just speaking to me. You can always pause this, rewind it, and go get your props or household items to do this. Curl the blanket in under your neck slightly. And allow yourself the reprieve. It's a little respite, this pose. Viparita Karani holds so many benefits. Lean into the support of the wall, the earth, the space around you. Be with your breath. Breathe into the ease. There's no forcing here. There's no aspiring to make the pose bigger than what it is. That's what we need to allow to fizzle and fade sweetly and welcome in a softer, sweeter connection with ourselves so that we can nurture those parts of ourselves that are hungry for our own nourishment. Enjoy a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You're going to bend your knees and just let gravity draw them into you. If you are on a blanket under your head, you can move the blanket to be more on top of you. No blanket, no problem. If you're on the bolster, you're going to push your feet into the wall and lift your hips up and bring your hips back down. We're just going to crisscross our ankles. If you have the bolster, you can turn it up. crisscross the ankles and rest here. If you are not on a bolster and you don't have a blanket, it's not a problem. You can just find yourself lying on the ground with the soles of the feet together. Let the head go, neck, jaw. Breathe deep into the belly. And really all we're doing is allowing for the restoration. Our beginning movement helped us be more settled. And now we're speaking to our body that we hold no judgment for all that it feels, because we can remind ourselves that we hold more than the feeling of the moment. And so we're real with ourselves. We honor the truth of ourselves so we can be more of ourselves. Big, gracious breath in. And a gracious breath out. Let the head be heavy. Keep your hips heavy. Wake up your core. You want to initiate the movement from deep within. Move the blanket if you need to. We're going to roll over to one side. Pausing, breathing, and allowing. And then slowly come up into the comfort of your seat. It's never very graceful, so you just do the best you can. And once you're seated, let the eyes close. You can lean back into that wall because you can feel, if you're sensitive enough, you can feel the subtle shifting that's happening. And it's actually happening with the watery parts of our being, our lymph, our endocrine system, right? And so we're helping the nodes of our being and the glands and emptying them out in a soft and loving way. Let your awareness settle all the way back down into your hips so you can feel yourself vertical again. And my hope that this little mini flow restores you and reminds you of your feeling nature, and that those feelings are guides to help direct you to nurture and nourish the parts of you that are ready to be healed and transformed, and to ignite that power of your own personal brilliance. And so we say hello to that light that greets us, and hello to the light that's within us that we have returned and reacquainted ourselves with. So from my own heart, straight to yours, namaste. I thank you for practicing with me and joining me in this virtual way. I appreciate any love offering, but it's not necessary. I have a generous spirit, but I also don't want to undermine my generosity. You can message me because I love to hear from you. You can reach out to me. You can Venmo me. There's so many ways, but it's just, if this is something, you can also just share this. That is a huge gesture of generosity, and I will be with you. Come join me in the Mindfully You group if you want live practices. It's on Facebook, Mindfully You. This is Teresa Phelps Martin, and I appreciate you deeply and hope you can get to learn these water aspects of yourself and feel more fully alive as you step forward in your life.